I'm Arda Öcal, and I am glad to be sitting beside an Olympic gold medalist, X Games gold medalist Red Gerard, one of the biggest faces in extreme sports, joining us here at the 2026 edition. You've been to quite a few of these. I'd love to start here. Coming into the 2026 X Games Aspen versus previous years, what feels different?
Yeah, I mean, I think the obvious one, being able to go back-to-back the last 2 years in slopestyle it's definitely a little bit different, a little bit more pressure on me. But no, I mean, I think, yeah, each year I've been able to come here just trying to get wiser and wiser as a competitor. And yeah, I mean, it's one of my, if not my favorite event to come to. We get so much practice for it, and the courses are always the best. So, yeah.
You mentioned the word wise. You're 25 years old, and yet among the competitors here, lots of teenagers. You're the elder statesman. So I'm curious how you have embraced that role as someone who these athletes, once upon a time you were the athlete that looked up to others, now these athletes looked up to you when you were competing. So how have you embraced that role?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a crazy thought to have. I still feel so young and, still feel like such a kid. So it is wild, being one of the older ones now in the field. And yeah, I mean, it's a young sport, but it's fun to be in there. It's fun to be with the young guys, and yeah, just trying to be in there. But no, I mean, yeah, I was brought up by people like Mark McMorris and Ståle Sandbeck and Torstein Horgman, all these people, and they were always very nice and just gave me as much advice that they could give. They were always very open to giving me that, and I try to do the same to the younger generation here as well. If they ever have questions, I always try to make sure I'm open, and you can kind of ask me whatever. I'm here to help, and yeah, I mean, that's a cool part about snowboarding. We're all such good friends out there, so just want to make sure that they feel that we are friends, and yeah.
As a first-timer here, I can feel the community sense here among the athletes, especially the respect that you guys have. How many people are, even rookies at X Games, are coming up to you saying, "Man, I idolized you growing up. I'd love a picture, some time with you." Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's definitely. It's just like a younger crowd every year, so it's fun to see. And yeah, I mean, if I get to shake some new hands or take some pictures, it's a fun feeling.
I always love to dive into the different range of emotions for athletes. You've had quite the journey, even at the Olympics, right? I want to go into just the different moments and how you're approaching your next journey in Milan. So 2018, you win the gold medal. Can you take us into that moment, what it felt like to hold it for the first time? Just take us through your range of emotions when you won that gold medal.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just such an interesting thing. I grew up being an action sports kid, watching Do Tours, X Games, US Opens. The Olympics was always this event that I didn't really understand because I never really grew up watching it. So, when it all just happened step by step. And when it was like I made the Olympic team, I go over to South Korea, I make finals, and I end up winning the event. And that's when I really realized that the Olympics is, our biggest sport that we can have. So it was just kind of a shocker. It was a shocker for me to go over there and do it, and it was a big learning experience. It, kind of forced me to mature at a younger age, and I got to meet a lot of really cool people out of it. So, yeah, it was just a cool thing. And yeah, going back now, I think just knowing what the Olympics is and how big it actually is, it's a massive thing. So just having that, that advice and that perk there is what I'm kind of banking on.
So you reached proverbially the mountaintop in 2018. 2022, you narrowly missed the podium. So I'm just curious, I'd love to know what your emotions were in that moment when you see three other athletes on the podium and you're kind of on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a bummer. That was probably, going into that Olympics, I was riding at that time the best I've ever ridden in my life, and it was definitely the one that I was going to where like I could definitely win this thing right now. So obviously falling short in fourth is never fun, but I never really look at it like I never am going to the Olympics like I want to win gold. I have a run that I want to do. I have a slopestyle run that I want to do, and that's all I can control. I can't control if I'm gonna get first place there. I can just control if I can land my run or not. So that's kind of my way of taking the pressure off in a way. And at the end of the day, in 2022 in Beijing, I came there and I did the run I wanted to do, and that's what I could control.
It just didn't work out for you there. So I'm curious now, coming into 2026, you know what it's like to be a gold medalist. You also know what it's like to miss the podium. So I'm just curious, like, which one motivates you more, or is there a percentage of motivation going into 2026?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've both they both have helped me out. In 2018, I caught the feeling of winning gold, and 2022, I lost the feeling of it. So I'm just really trying to take both the advice that I've gotten from both those Olympics and take it into Italy. And yeah, I mean, like I was saying before, all I can control is trying to have the best possible run, and that's the way I'm going to go into it.
And how about here, trying to three-peat, like you said? Like, how important is that to you in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it's really right up there with winning another Olympic medal. I mean, like I said, X Games is the event I grew up watching, so to have the opportunity to go 3 in a row is massive. I know tomorrow is gonna be a really hard day, so I'm just trying to just take it hour by hour and not get ahead of myself.
Excuse me if this is an explain to me like I'm 5 kind of question, but I'm hearing a lot about the conditions. Like, the weather seems great. Obviously, the snow hasn't snowed as much as it normally does in Aspen. Some of it might be synthetic snow. I'm just curious, like, how do you as an athlete prepare for any of these conditions? Like, what differs this time around as compared to, say, previous, where the conditions might be different?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just try to set yourself up the best you can. If it's snowing tomorrow, then you tone back your run a little bit. One thing that I try to do is just not get ahead of myself. It's not doing me any good if I'm thinking about tomorrow over and over again. So just taking it hour by hour, and yeah, it's always, I mean, we do a sport where Mother Nature controls what we do. So we have to be ready to be able to adjust for when weather comes around.
Last question for you. You've been in this game a long time. You have seen extreme sports, your particular discipline, evolve over the years. Where would you say it is at in 2026?
It's at the peak, in my opinion. I mean, if you were to ask me this 2 years ago, or 4 years ago, I would say it's at the peak. But we, constantly are just going further and further and further. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different sport than what it was in 2012 or something. But we're evolving, and constantly getting pushed by the younger generation. And yeah, it's a cool sport. I enjoy it.
Red Gerard, Olympic medalist, joining us here on ESPN. Hey, thanks for the time, man. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yep.